Dear friend, today we will see the topic that is related to yesterday's topic, that is electromagnetic induction, and that is mutual inductance. Now, what is that actually mutual inductance? That we have learned that if the magnetic flux of any coil changes with the current passing through other coil or in the same coil, it is changing the flux, and due to that the current is induced in that ring or in coil. That is called induction. Now, as the topic mutual inductance comes, we can go with that example number 6.9 of the textbook, which shows that, as shown in the figure here, that two concentric circular coils, one of small radius r1 and the other of large radius r2, such that r1 is very much less than r2, are placed coaxially with center coinciding. Now we are asked to obtain the mutual inductance of the arrangement. So now here in the figure I have shown that one ring, that is red one, is having radius r1, and the other one, that is blue one, having radius r2. Here we are given that r1 is very much less than r2. So we can say that r1 is very much less than r2. This is our assumption. Now we consider that suppose I2 is the current passing through coil 2. Then we can say that the center of the coil, which is coinciding for both the coils, the magnetic field at the center due to coil 2 will be given by mu 0 I over 2r. Here we have given it a number 2, so it will be B2, that is equals to mu 0 I2 upon 2r2. Now it is clear that due to this the flux link with the coil 1 is given by, that is A into B. Now here ring 1 has a smaller area, so we will consider the area of the small ring and magnetic field of the big ring. So here area of the small ring and magnetic field of the big ring, that is A1 into B2. Now A1 is given by pi r1 square because it is circular, and B2 is given by mu 0 I2 upon 2r2. If we take both the values into equation, we get that phi 1 is equals to mu 0 pi r1 square upon 2r2 is into I2. So this can be given as equation 1. Now this equation 1 we compare with phi 1 equals to m1 I2 m12 into I2, that we have already studied in the previous case. So if we compare equation 1 and 2, we get the equation as, that is m12 is equals to mu 0 pi r1 square over 2r2. We also know that m12 is equals to m21, and therefore the both will be the same, that is mu 0 pi r1 square over 2r2. Here we calculated m12 from an approximation value of phi 1. We have assumed that the magnetic field B2 to be uniform over the area of pi r1 square. However, we can accept this value because r1 is considered very small with respect to r2. That is called self-inductance. As we know that the flux in one solenoid due to the current in the other changes the flux of the coil. It is also possible that EMF is induced in a single isolated coil due to the change of flux through the coil by means of varying current through the same coil. This phenomena is called self-inductance. Now focus in the figure as shown here. We consider a variable battery is connected with a coil we consider the length of the coil to be a small l and total n number of turns which are available in the coil. Now, as in this case, the flux linkage through a coil of capital N turns is proportional to the current through the coil, and it is expressed by N phi B is proportional to I. Now, if we remove the proportionality constant, we can add a constant that is called capital L, where this L is called self-inductance of the coil. Now it is also called coefficient of self-inductance of the coil. When the current is varied, the flux linked with the coil also changes and the EMF is induced in the coil. Now, using above equation, if we want to find out the EMF induced in the coil, we can apply the Faraday's law for equation 1, and we can write E is equals to minus d by dt of N phi B. Now L is already a constant, so it is taken out, and di upon dt, that is the term. Thus, the self-induced EMF always opposes any changes of current in the coil, which may increase or decrease. Now, the same thing as deriving equation number 2 is also possible for a simple geometry of this figure above. As shown in the figure above, we consider that self-inductance of a long solenoid of a cross-section area A and small l having small n turns per unit length, the magnetic field due to current I flowing through the solenoid is given by B equals to mu 0 Ni, and the total flux linked with the solenoid is given by the equation that is written over here, that is N phi B is equals to NBA. Now we have considered that capital N to be N into L, that is number of total turns. B is the solenoid's magnetic field, that is mu 0 Ni, and cross section area, that is A, is a given. Now if we compare this equation with the term that is N phi is equals to Li, we get L to be mu 0 N square A into L, that I have written in the equation number 2. Now if we fill inside of the solenoid with a material of relative permeability mu r, say with iron or soft iron which is having a high value of relative permeability, then the induced EMF and the total term that is produced over here is given by L is equals to mu 0 into mu r N square A into L. This shows that the coil or the self-inductance of the coil depends on its geometry, that is A into L, and on the permeability of the medium, that is mu r, the material which is filled. Now we consider that general case that if you are given two coils and both the coils are having current and the current is flowing both of them, then the total flux link with one coil is given by, that is N phi 1 is equals to M11 into I1 plus M12 into I2. Here we can say that M11 itself is a inductance due to the same coil. Now if we apply Faraday's law for that, we can say that E1 is equals to minus of M11 di1 upon dt minus M12 di2 upon dt. Now we replace M1 with L1 because it is self-inductance of the coil. We can write that is E1 is equals to minus L1 di1 upon dt minus M12 di2 upon dt. So this is the case that we have considered over here. Now we will move to another important topic, that is work done in this coil arrangement. Suppose we want to find out the work done, that is the self-induced EMF is also called here as a back EMF, as it opposes any changes in the current of the circuit. Physically, the self-inductance plays the role of inertia as in the mechanics. Now, it is the electromagnetic analogous of mass in mechanics. So, as mechanics has a mass, we can say that here that self-inductance or this term has analogy. Now, we need to find out that work done against that back EMF in establishing the current. So, here we say that work can be compared with the equation, and as F is equals to ma, we know that this work done is stored in a magnetic potential energy. For the current I at an instant in the circuit, the rate of work done, that is called power, is given by V into I. So we know that power is equals to E into I, but we know that power is a rate of work done, so we can say that it is equals to E into I. Now we make dW subject, then we will get E into I into dt. Now we compare that if we say as per as equation that E is equals to L di upon dt, as per as the equation, we can say therefore dW is equals to L di upon dt into I into dt. So here we can cancel out the term dt from both, and therefore our new term that will be dW is equals to L I di. Here it is to be noted that we have ignored the resistive loss and consider only inductive effect in this equation, and also the magnitude of the given equation. So as per as this equation is concerned, we can now consider the part as an integration. So the total amount of work done in establishing the current I, we can write that is W is equals to, that is integration of dW, that is integration of L I di. Here we are considering L out and taking integration of I with respect to di. We can simply write this is equals to L I square upon 2. So ultimately the work done is given by 1/2 L I square. So this equation is reminding like a 1/2 mv square of the mechanics in the motion. So this is equation analogous to the kinetic energy, and therefore as in the equation the mass plays the role as 1/2 mv square. So if we consider it with compare, that is kinetic energy is equals to 1/2 mv square, we can have analogy to the term that is compared over here. So we can compare that L and M over here, that L is electrical inertia and opposes the growth and decay of current in the circuit. So this is the work stored in the magnetic field. Now we will see the example number 6.10, which is also based on the same explanation. So in this example we are given that obtain the expression for the magnetic energy stored in a solenoid in terms of magnetic field B, area A and length L of solenoid. So we are given the first task to find out the energy. As we know from above equation that energy is given by that, suppose we consider that magnetic energy or it is stored in a magnetic field is like 1 by 2 Li square. Now we know that B for solenoid, B is equals to mu 0 and I. So if we make I as a subject, we can have I is equals to B upon mu 0 into N. So we can substitute this equation in above equation. If we replace, we get UB, that is stored in a magnetic field, potential energy like 1/2 L. We can say this is B square over mu 0 square N square. Now we also know that for solenoid L is given by mu 0 N square A into L. So we know that L is given by mu 0 N square A into L. Here small l is the length of solenoid while capital L is self inductance. So if we replace this equation over here, we get UB is equals to 1/2 mu 0 N square A into small l, then this is B square over mu 0 square N square as it is. Now we will check which terms are cancelable. So here N square will cancel each other's effect. Here 1 mu 0 will cancel out. So ultimately the value of UB is equals to 1 by 2 B square over mu 0 into area into length. So ultimately this is the equation of potential energy that may be stored in any solenoid. So this is our equation number 1. Now in part 2 it is given that how does this magnetic energy compare with the electrostatic energy stored in a capacitor. So for that comparison, first of all we will write that from equation number 1 that energy stored per unit volume, that energy per unit volume is given by, that is UB over area into length. So area into length is called volume. So that is written in a terms of small ub, and this comes to be B square over 2 mu 0. Now this is comparable with energy stored in the capacitor, that is here we can say this equation has a relation. If we compare it with the energy stored in a capacitor, it is given by UE, that is in electric field, that is 1 by 2 epsilon 0 into E square. So this is the equation, that equation number 3 is the equation for the energy stored inside the capacitor. Now in both the cases, energy is proportional to the square of the field of the strength and have been derived for a special cases. That for that, first we have solenoid and a parallel plate capacitor for capacitors, but they are general and valid for any region of space in which magnetic field or electric field exists. So these are the comparison of self-inductance and energy stored in it.